Go ahead, Vinay.
Hello all, this is Vinay Nair from School of Vedic Maths, Mumbai, and welcome to this talk. In this talk, I intend to touch upon a few topics. That is, first is the kind of work that we are doing in India on Vedic mathematics, and who we are, and what kind of programs that we do, and something interesting in puzzles and Vedic mathematics, like how we can extend Vedic mathematics through puzzles. So I'll just take you through a quick overview of what we do. We started off as an organization by the name School of Vedic Maths in 2009, and we have been doing courses, workshops for students, teachers and parents, and also working professionals. So the kind of programs that we do is we go to different educational institutions and we train the students as well as the teachers. So the idea is to empower an entire school and not just conduct regular classes at a particular place. So I normally call ourselves as a school on wheels. We go to different places and conduct these programs. So those come under the workshops. And the topics that we normally cover are Vedic mathematics, ancient Indian mathematics and conventional mathematics. The advantage that I see in Vedic mathematics is that it's a very good tool for creating interest in mathematics, as you all might be knowing who are watching this, who are participating in this conference. So that's about, in short, about the courses and workshops. We do residential as well as non-residential camps. And residential camps are not there are not many residential camps that happen on mathematics, especially for children. So we started off with the idea of doing residential camps 5 years back, and we have been doing annual national level residential camps where children from all over the country and sometimes even from outside India, they participate and they learn Vedic mathematics and ancient Indian mathematics, and then they go back. So those are some programs that we do. There are online training programs for teachers, for parents, for students who come online, like this live classroom sessions. And there are teachers as well as parent training programs that we do. And most of these teachers and parents training programs are offline programs because it requires more of face-to-face and live interactions. And competitions, we do different kinds of competitions in mathematics, which not only involves numerical skill but also involves logical thinking. And many competitions are group events. So these competitions normally we do it in Mumbai. And this year we are planning to go online as well. And competitions cover topics like debates in mathematics, solving puzzles in mathematics, numerical questions of course, and quiz on mathematics, and so on and so forth. So this is the gist of what we do, and this is a quick view on numbers. So since 2009, this is what we were able to achieve. And like I said, national level residential camps, these residential camps are one area where children actually get to bond with each other when they are totally away from home, away from technology, and then just participating in these in the camp. So we started off with one camp every year, and then till 2 years earlier, and since then the number it has been increased. Like we got more requests for residential camps, and this is what we are looking at this year. So this is a quick view on my profile. I'm a maths enthusiast, and I loved mathematics and teaching thanks to my teacher who taught me mathematics and who encouraged teaching right from 12-13 years of age. So 2 years earlier I wrote a book about how he taught us mathematics, rather how he taught us to think, and this book was published 2.5 years ago. and it's a book for mainly for parents and teachers who who like to develop more on the pedagogy of mathematics education. 3 years back, I got an opportunity to work with Chinmay International Foundation for developing content for an online course, an online and offline course on Vedic Mathematics, which was launched 2 years back, a little over 2 years back, and it's been offered online as well as offline since then. And there are students, parents, working professionals, teachers all over the world who are doing this course currently. And there is also a DVD set of video lectures of Vedic Mathematics which was recorded in during one of the residential camps, which is available. And yeah, I try to pen down something once in a while. This is my colleague R. Hariharan. He is a chartered accountant by profession, and he has got a flair for numbers. He has got a flair for finance as well as economics. He has been a recipient of various awards. I haven't listed them down over here. Together with a few other maths enthusiasts, we started off an NGO by the name Raising a Mathematician Foundation that works for the promotion of mathematics. So this was an NGO that we started off last year, and he is the head of academic affairs over there. And towards the end of this year, we really hope that he gets on to his PhD program. Recently, he cleared GMAT with 96 percentile, and he has got a unique combination of mathematics, finance, and economics, which makes him able to relate all these areas, interrelate all these areas while he is doing sessions. So he mainly trains for school students, college students, and students who are preparing for all these competitive exams like GRE, GMAT, and so on. So that's him, and these are a few highlights. If somebody asks, like, I want to learn Vedic Mathematics, how do I learn? I'm not in your town, or there is very less possibility that you would come to our town. So then how can I learn Vedic Mathematics? If this question is asked, these are the few things that we suggest. The first three things. One is this home study course on Vedic Mathematics, which I just mentioned about. It's open for anyone about 12 years of age, and it's a 9-month course divided into 24 lessons. And on this link, the lessons, the topics, and how it can be covered, all those things are explained over here. It's a good course that we recommend for people who wish to take up Vedic Mathematics as teaching, and so this is a good foundation in terms of the detail in which the subject has been explained. For people who don't have 9 months time, who want to do it slightly faster, there is a DVD set of video lectures available. Again, this is the link for that. National level residential camps are my favorite of all the programs that I do, and this is the residential camp that we do in the month of April in India, in Kerala, that is South India. In Cochin, we do this camp called Vedic Mathematics, and this April will be the 6th year when we will be doing this camp. And in this camp, we cover not only Vedic Mathematics but also ancient Indian mathematics. So every year we have different set of topics. This year we will be dealing with geometry, and last year we had combinatorics, and the year before that we had recreational mathematics. And so every year the topics keep changing. The registration for this camp is full for this year. So next year, if anybody is interested, they can register even for the next camp. But I thought I'll just mention it over here so that those who are interested might be, they can think of next year. The second camp is again a very unique training program. I cannot call it as a camp. It's a training program which we do under our NGO's banner. And for this program, we select 100 exceptionally brilliant students in mathematics all over India who are in the age group 13 to 15. So the idea is to create a research mentality right from high school age, which we normally don't get much in India. So the idea is to give them a platform for those who have a potential and create that research ability or mentality in them. It's a free of cost training program. It's a 6 days residential. The students are not charged any fees for this. We try to get it funded from people who are who like this idea of creating a research mentality in students. And the details of this program are normally on the website, on our website raisingamathematician.com by the month of January. So this year again the selection process is currently going on, and 100 students across India will be selected for this program. More details will be available on the website. Competitions are through competitions again we are able to create an interest for Vedic mathematics, because again children see those who have learned Vedic mathematics, they are somehow in a better position to do number crunching faster. So again competitions give us more opportunity to speak about Vedic mathematics. Moving ahead, these are a few pictures of different programs that we have done. Okay, so the story for puzzle starts here. It so happened that in one of the sessions that I was doing, and in fact I'm sure that all teachers would share this particular thing with me, that while doing a class, while taking any topic, we have at least 4 different, we can categorize students in 4 different categories: average, above average, below average, and brilliant. And this category below average, since they take so much of time, it becomes very difficult for the teacher to manage all these 4 category students in one class. So this is what even I was facing, and if I would give more time to this below average category, then this the other 3 categories, those students, they have finished their problems slightly earlier, and they end up disturbing the class, or maybe they find it boring. Oh, I'm done with my problem. Why is this guy going very slow? So the challenge that I was facing is to make it entertaining for these 3 sections. Or if I cater only to this, then I'll be doing injustice to the above, the below average category. So I wanted to do something so that I don't do injustice to all the 4 categories. That is when this thing came up, that while I had given some 6 problems for them to work in a 6th graders class, and it was a big class. I was doing this session in this town called Tirunelveli, and there was this huge bunch of students who had finished all the problems. So they started making some noise, and I said, okay, I have to keep them engaged. So I said, okay, let me see who will be able to find the solution for this problem. So I just wrote dash dash times dash dash 1089. So I said, let me see how many of you can find the answer for this question, and then I moved on with the below average, and I was trying to help them in case they were finding some difficulty. And I didn't honestly expect that somebody of 6th grade would be able to crack this very fast, since no digits were given. But I was really surprised when there was this boy who took less than a minute, and he came up with a solution for this one. And as teachers, we can make out whether they actually knew the solution, or was it that they worked on the solution at that particular moment. And I realized that he had worked on the solution, and he was so happy that he probably never imagined that he could crack this particular problem in less than a minute. And the next minute there was another boy who came up with another solution, and I said, oh my god, this is correct. I mean, how come you boys are able to get the solution so fast? So then I thought that, okay, this is something really interesting. And the entire class, I mean, it was a class of 80 students, and 2 of them had got the solution. So the remaining 78, they were so excited to know how these guys, they were able to come up with the solution. So then I said, okay, let's try another puzzle. So I put another puzzle in a similar way, and I saw that 5 or 6 of them could come up with a solution in around 3 to 4 minutes. So here it is. Those who know Vedic mathematics, they might have come across this sutra ekanyunena purvena. So this is the hint. This is what I am using over here to find the solutions for these problems. So normally in the class what I do is I don't teach the method. I ask them to observe a particular calculation and come up with their own ways of doing this particular calculation. So for those who are not aware about this technique, you can just look at these 3 calculations and try to find some pattern between the question and the answer. Yeah, and it is the same pattern that is used over here. So actually how the students found the solution was, they found a pattern while doing this calculation, and the same pattern they saw over here in the answer, and they tried to apply the same logic and they got the solution for these questions. So for those who don't know what is how to do multiplication by 99, you can pause this video right now and you can see, you can try observing some pattern over here and see some relationship between the question and the answer and try to apply it over here. I'm not going to give away the answer. So we'll move on with the next slide. Okay, these are some more hints. I've colored certain numbers with the same color, which might help you identify the technique slightly faster. Again, there is a blue color, so maybe you can observe the numbers in the red and blue and try to find out some relationship. So this is what we normally recommend in the class and even in the teachers training program, that we all are into the style of teaching, and everybody has got a very different way of teaching. But what if we give them an opportunity to explore and allow them to discover something on their own without we feeding them the ideas? Let us try to see if they can come out with their own observations and they can take the credit that they have discovered a new technique, and we can capitalize on that particular feeling that okay, they are really happy that they have discovered something, and it makes the class very lively, and we don't have to take much effort or strain to keep them occupied or give them instructions. They are into the world of exploration, and then we just allow them to explore, and we guide them with such examples so that it makes it easier for them to observe and explore. So this was the first set of puzzles that I had to discover that day in that particular class. And the same evening I went back to my room and I started thinking that okay, next day I am going to take these topics. So what puzzles should I have in hand? Then I started creating some puzzles which I can keep handy, and then when I go to the class, I am taking a particular topic, I have such handy puzzles. So the students who are finishing the problems really fast, they get a set of puzzles to work upon so that they can they'll be occupied and I can concentrate on the weaker ones in the class. Okay. There is another sutra in Vedic mathematics called ekadhikena purvena. Sorry for this alignment. It's because of some issue with the online class that it got misaligned. Anyways, so again you can see the question. There is a certain pattern between both the numbers in the question, and it's the same pattern that you can see in all the 3. And again, if you look at the answer, you will be able to find some relationship between the question and the answer. Okay. So in case you want to take some time, you can pause the video and then you can look more into it and then proceed. So based on ekadhikena purvena, these are some puzzles, and again it's a similar type of puzzles, like multiplication of 2-digit numbers gives me these numbers. So what should be in these blank spaces? Again you can look at these 3 calculations and then try to figure out some relationship between the question and the answer and work on these puzzles. So this was the next set of puzzles that I made, and it so happened that I had taken some 6 or 7 puzzles with me, thinking that I'll have to use only 3 or 4 in the class. But the children, as usual, they proved smarter than me, and they were able to solve all the 6 or 7. So I had more time left, and I had to keep them engaged. So that had, I had to be on my toes to create some new puzzles then and there. So I think this is a very good opportunity for the teacher, because as teachers we tend to go to the classroom very well prepared, and anything impromptu might be a little scary sometimes. But then again it's very challenging to create puzzles then and there. So I tried creating something, and it again, as a teacher, it gave me more confidence that okay, at the spur of the moment you can create a puzzle and give it to the students. So I think this is something that we as teachers should look into, how we can create puzzles rather than taking puzzles, because in teachers training programs usually teachers ask like, okay, all these things are really good, but from where do we get the material, like from where do we download it, do you have a CD of that, or is it available on your website? So then again we are depending on something. So the idea is to empower ourselves, empower teachers, so that we are self-dependent on ourselves. We don't depend on others for material. We manufacture material. So that should be the approach. That's what I feel. Okay, so puzzles beyond Vedic maths, like how we can take Vedic mathematics as a stepping stone and then we can take a leap beyond. So these are some puzzles which have come up during the classroom discussions, like puzzles on palindromes, crypt-arithmetic puzzles, and combinatorial puzzles. So the puzzles are the same kind, but now as we can see, the answers are palindrome numbers. Palindrome numbers are numbers that read the same from left to right as well as right to left, right? So again, the answer is a palindrome number, and we have to find which two numbers would come here. If you remember carefully, this 5445 had come in one of the earlier slides. So maybe you can look at, you can go back on the video and you can see where this particular thing was used, and then try to find out what two numbers would come here. I'll share how puzzles on palindromes came. Like while we were doing puzzles and something in Vedic mathematics, there was this 4th standard boy in the class, and usually I don't take Vedic maths for 4th graders. I normally prefer to start from 5th or 6th. But there was this boy who was really wonderful with numbers, and he said, "Hey, I see a palindrome number." So I said, "Okay, that's really interesting. I'm happy that you saw a palindrome number. What do you think? What kind of numbers?" Again, he was one of the brighter ones in the class, so I had to keep him occupied, because otherwise he would finish everything and then he would start dancing, which would of course disturb the class. So I asked him, "What do you think? What number should come here so that I get a palindrome number?" And it set him thinking. And what I found was really interesting. He found out a lot of things on permutations and combinations, not knowing it is permutations and combinations, because again it was the question of how many different combinations are possible for resulting this particular answer. So it turned out to be a combinatorial problem, which was a very good learning experience for me. So puzzles on palindromes can be really interesting. So I asked him how many 2-digit numbers exist, which when multiplied by 99 gives me a palindrome. He took some 5 minutes and then he came out with the answer, that he said, okay, it can be only these many number of 2-digit numbers, which when multiplied by 99 gives me a palindrome. So then I asked him, why do you think only these many numbers are possible? You did not even list down all the things. Like for a 4th standard boy, we expect them to list down all possibilities. Otherwise, how would they come up with how many possible combinations are there? So then he said, no, I have observed a pattern that when you are getting a palindrome, I see that there is a 99 over here, and about the other number I have seen some pattern, some observation, and I tried exploring that observation, and then I got a logic using which I can definitely say that there are these many number of 2-digit numbers. So I said, wow, that's beautiful. Then we went one step ahead. We got this particular answer for 1279 times 9999. So again we have a palindrome number. Now we have an 8-digit palindrome number. I asked him, what do you think, how many 4-digit numbers exist which when multiplied by 9999 gives us a palindrome number? Not every 4-digit number multiplied by 9999 gives us a palindrome number. So there has to be something interesting about such numbers. So then he went home. Next day he comes and then he says that, okay, I can definitely say that there are 90 such 4-digit numbers. And remember, he was a 4th standard boy, and how he got to find all these things, what was the motivation? The motivation was puzzles. I didn't have to teach him anything. I just had to give him something to observe, and he found out some pattern and he came up with beautiful observation. So such combinatorial problems can be given, like how many 4-digit numbers exist which when multiplied by 9. So we can extend from Vedic mathematics to other topics like permutations and combinations. Moving ahead. Crypt-arithmetic puzzles. Okay, two-digit numbers -5 gives me the answer in the form ABB5. So A and B are different digits. These dash can be they are the same digits, but what are they, we don't know. So for such a question, it's not that find the value of these. The question is how many solutions exist for this particular question. How many solutions exist for this particular question. So if we get a solution, from that solution how we can get to the other solutions. Now when we are just doing this very quickly, it might seem to be very difficult to come out with all solutions, or we might not have any clue. But I am sure that if you go back to the video and you see this observation in multiplication by 99, you would definitely get some pattern between them, and from one solution how you can extend, how you can get to the other solution. So these type of problems become very interesting for children. In fact, I have got feedback from students saying that we always thought there is only one answer for one particular question. We never thought there can be multiple answers for one single question. So it becomes very interesting for them, and they start coming up with questions like this, and they come up with, okay, how many solutions exist for this particular problem. So connecting Vedic mathematics, connecting crypt-arithmetic and combinatorial problems through Vedic mathematics would be very interesting. Okay. Coming back to the classroom analysis, again when we have a set of questions, and this can be applied not just for Vedic math but for anything, like any mathematics teacher can have this thing in mind, that if we are covering a particular topic, let us say it is something on perimeter and area, so let us try to prepare some puzzles on perimeter and area, go to the class, and then once we are done with a particular topic and we want to give some problems for students to do, when these students are taking more time, let us give some puzzles for these guys so that they can work on it. They'll be engaged and they'll enjoy that particular process. It will also motivate others to try to arrive at the solution faster, because they also want to do the puzzles in the end. And not puzzles, if you are doing something which is not pertaining to Vedic mathematics, again you can create something in Vedic mathematics. You can just show them, okay, 34 times 99 is this. What do you think? How did I get the answer? Think over it. So again, this time is utilized and we are doing justice to the entire class. So the benefits of puzzles. Yeah, problem solving ability. In fact, this is something that all successful mathematicians, scientists, engineers, everybody, they have said one thing in common, that they have had developed that problem solving ability. And this problem solving ability is not just solving a mathematical problem, but a problem of everyday life, like how do we solve a particular problem. So how does mathematics help us? Mathematics helps us in developing that ability for solving everyday problems. Right? Otherwise, not all of us would be using polynomials or algebra or trigonometry in our daily life. But while we do that, if we are able to develop that problem solving ability, then we will be able to live a happier life, I feel. So puzzles, they really help us develop that problem solving ability. And yeah, of course, this is one area where many parents and teachers, they also face this concern, like how do we encourage students to do more mathematics. And the success in mathematics is with more practice. But if you just tell them that you practice n number of times, but what is the motivation in that? It is not a very interesting procedure. Maybe when they are 5 years, 6 years or 7 years of age, they might listen to you. But when they grow, they are not going to follow this particular thing. And even we wouldn't follow that particular logic. Like somebody says, you just practice. If I'm not interested in it, why would I practice? So there should be some motivation to do more mathematics. And puzzles and Vedic maths would be one area where children find a motivational factor for doing mathematics. In the end result is that they get to practice a lot more in mathematics. Critical thinking and logical reasoning, a very important point. Normally when we do Vedic mathematics for younger class, we just do it as a bunch of tricks, yeah, just to create interest. But when we see those students after some time, and when we do a second level or a second module, we ask them like, hey, what do you think? Like if you are getting an answer so fast without doing the conventional way, then how are these things resulting in the answer? So if a magician is pulling a rabbit out of the hat, there definitely has to be some logic behind the magic. So Vedic mathematics, it gives us the opportunity to take children to try to find the logic behind all the seemingly magical things happening in Vedic mathematics. And when we try to take them to the logic, we will be able to take them to the algebra behind Vedic mathematics, which makes the subject all the more beautiful. Because today many of them who are into mathematics education, they don't value Vedic mathematics much, because they feel it is very elementary and it is a bunch of tricks. But then if it is a bunch of tricks, then shouldn't there be a rationale behind it? How can a trick just work? I mean, there has to be a logic to support that trick. And maths without logic does not give the correct answer. So what is the logic? The logic is the algebra. So Vedic mathematics also helps us take them to puzzles, and through puzzles and Vedic maths we can take them to the algebraic thinking behind Vedic mathematics. It improves pattern observation. Pattern observation is a very important thing today, especially in today's economy. There are a lot of things that are changing. Depending on the changes in trends and patterns, one has to understand how he has to make take a decision, be it in business or be it in some other professional Again, taking decisions, it's mainly based on some change in the pattern. So this pattern observation thing is a very important thing, I feel, that we can make the students do pattern observation through Vedic mathematics. Enhances creativity. Yes, I can definitely say that because I learned Vedic mathematics, and because I started doing puzzles, it enhanced my creativity. Otherwise, where am I being creative? I mean, I'm a teacher. A teacher normally teaches what the teacher knows. Where is the fun part for the teacher? Otherwise, if you do the same thing over and over for so many number of years, I mean, you don't do anything creative, and there's no fun for the teacher. Enhances creativity, and yeah, we can cater to all the students of different levels, the basic level and the brilliant level. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed with the idea of creating puzzles through Vedic mathematics. I would be happy to hear some more ideas from you, so please give your feedback. That's an email ID on which you can contact me, and I would be happy if you can extend some puzzles. If you are disappointed that I did not give you the solutions for those questions, I mean, I would have snatched away the fun part of it if I give you the solution. Thank you all the best to all of you. Thank you.